Hello and welcome. And what is the first of what's possibly a series or the single video, who knows, about planes that I have been playing and that I like and War Thunder. And we're going to start with a Yak-1B. Now, this is my alternate account. In my primary account, I basically only played like US and Germany. So I was never too privy on the Russia USSR planes, and so I was very pleasantly surprised when I started using them in this account. And yeah, they're pretty good. They're extremely good, in fact. Now, the Yak-1B sits at 3.0 battle rating in aerialistic battles at rank 2 here. And you may very well ask, oh, okay, you have the Yak-1B at 3.0 battle rating, you have the 7B at 2.7, you have the Yak-9 and the 9B at 3.0, and the 1B comes before all of those other two. So is it not worse than them? And it's actually not worse, it's actually better. So let's look at the stats. I have the 7B, the 9, and the 1B right down here. If you look at the 7B, max speed is 570 kilometers. The Yak-9 is 577, and the Yak-1B is 592, and all three of them are spaded. So it's not a question of one being better than the other, right? In terms of like modifications. Now, let's see. Turn time 21.5 for the 7B, 19 seconds for the Yak-9, and also, well, 18.5 for the 1B. So it's faster on turning. And finally, rate of climb, we have 15.5 meters per second for the 7B, 16 for the Yak-9, and 16 for the Yak-1B. The 7B has a bit more ammo than the other two. It has 120 rounds of the Shvak and 400 rounds of the 50 cal, whereas the other two only have 200 rounds. But to be honest with you, the cannon is the more important one of the two ammunition types that you carry. So I don't think those extra 200 rounds in the 7B really do count for a lot in my estimation. So yeah, I would highly recommend you sticking with the 1B for the entirety of rank 2 up until when you come up to rank 3, and the next Yak I think is really good here is a Yak-3 at 4.3 battle rating. Up until then, I would just keep using the Yak-1B all throughout. Now, in terms of modifications here, well, obviously when install everything, I would focus primarily on the performance upgrades like radiator, compressor, and engine. And then secondarily, the ammunition. It seems to me like the ammunition types I had more success using for the 50 cals were the air target ones, and for the 20mm Shvak, universal rounds. Maybe you can make do with, I don't know, stealth or some such, but yeah, I wouldn't use maybe tracers. I know this FIT fragmentation incendiary is really good, but then again, I am consulting a post on the War Thunder forums, which I'll link down below in the video here. So I'm basically copying my ammo suggestions from there. Okay, we're gonna start with the first game I recorded for this plane today. As you can see, I'm selecting 500 conversions. And to be honest with you, if I'm using wing mounted guns and I'm planning to do a lot of head-ons, then maybe I'll go up to 600 or so. I'm not keen on going for head-ons with this plane, so we're gonna keep it at 500. Now, I'm using manual engine controls, as you can see down there. Basically, I'll put it on manual, set prop pitch to 100%, and play with the radiator, basically 10% give or take, 8% for oil, 12% for water, and then I just keep monitoring the pressure, or sorry, the temperature as the game progresses. And as our altitude goes up to 2100 or 2200, I'll switch to supercharger gear 2. Finally, I'm looking at an IAS 260, 270. To be honest with you, I'm just put the plane at around 18, 17 degrees, and then just out tab and go do something else because we have to wait for this phase of the game. We go forward a little bit. We are getting up to 4K, as you can see there. I see the B-34 up there. I chose to keep this segment here, even though it's not too eventful, because you will see, well, actually you will not see, because I won't show this because it's a little bit boring, but I tend to avoid going for bombers. And the reason for that is that, especially in a plane that is a little bit more frail, as the Yak-1B is, generally you even if you take down the bomber, you are at risk of like getting shot, a stray shot in the engine or the wing or some such. And even if you don't go down necessarily, your plane frequently will be impaired, like your ability to fly won't be the same. So usually I just let the bombers do their own thing, unless, I don't know, bombers like right there, then sure, I'll take a couple pot shots. But otherwise, I'll leave them for to the end of the match. Now we see the P-51 over there. Basically just assessing the situation here. My team hasn't climbed much. Mostly the only one up here, which is generally what happens, especially if you're not playing with the squad. A little bit sad. So I'm looking to go on that P-51, but I'm keeping in mind that contrail down there is a BF-109, as you can see. So I'm basically on a wait and see mode here to see what the P-51 does, what the BF-109 does. I'll go for the P-51 here, but keeping a look, keeping an eye on the BF-109, definitely coming for me. The P-51 seems to be a little bit oblivious to our approach. I certainly could have taken a few shots here. Let's see. My aim is not the best, as per usual. This guy should be dead by now, but obviously he's not. That's my bad. But we did cripple him a little bit, so that's good. And incidentally, we also make him go down, which is good. He'll go to the clutches of our team, so that is nice. Now the BF-109 is coming for a head-on. I will not take this head-on. I'll shoot right about like 1.5 kilometers. And then as we dodge the head-on, he hits us a little bit, nothing serious. And we start rolling scissors with him, thinking maybe he'll dive. But no, it seems like he's pulling up. And yeah, he's basically dead here. We are firmly on his 6 right now. Maybe he thinks we disappeared, which is certainly not the case. 800 meters, not the easiest shot to get here, but we scare him. He goes horizontal, and it seems pretty clear cut. And yeah, there we go. Pretty simple stuff. We're actually gonna move to the next game here. It was extremely difficult to get footage for this video, ironically enough, because I was mostly facing US teams, and at this battle rating, I don't know what happens, like most US teams just dive down to the deck. And yeah, like I couldn't get more than 3 kills per game, because usually their team was completely dead when I finished up what had to be done up top. Now we can see this B239, I believe it's a Swedish tech tree. It's kind of a buffalo. It's going for our friendly MiG-3 over there. It seems oblivious to our approach, and it is a sideways shot, which I miss. As you can see, my aim has a lot to be improved, for sure. Now he's aware that we're here, and I'm considering diving down on him. However, he seems to be interested in going for the MiG, and I want to keep my altitude here. This is right after the game has done we have done the initial merge, so as you can see, I am like 3.8 kilometers, give or take. He pitches up. I'm still considering, but there's that P40 coming up, so if I fully commit on this 239 here, I'll probably get jumped by the P40, so I'm keeping an eye on both, and the P40 is definitely coming for us. The B239 seems to have given up. Actually, no, he's considering, but he is in his energy state is not sufficient to pitch up for us and go for it. So the P40 is coming for the head-on. Once again, we're gonna dodge. I try for a few shots. I get a hit, which is lucky on my part, and we do the merge. We start scissors. The B239 has given up, which is a bad call on his part, to be honest with you, because he will completely leave his P40 for dead here. And the performance of the Yak-1B is just fantastic. Unless you were turning with like a Japanese plane or a Spitfire, then maybe you're in trouble. But if you're turning with any other plane, especially American ones, as this P40 is here, it is extremely easy to just get under 6. And yeah, I think he's basically given up at this point. He's like, well, what's the point, right? And indeed, what is the point? He is going right back to the hangar. And as you can see, and it's very easy to, this perfectly illustrates most of the games I had today. As I finish up 1 or 2 adversaries I had up top, I look down and their team is basically dead. So let's go to the next game then. And once again, everybody is on the deck. As you can see, pretty standard. We see a bunch of enemies up ahead. There is a Key 43 that seems particularly interested in fighting with us. We have an I-16 close by. There's also a P-39, as you can see, and we have a pretty hefty energy advantage here. We are afforded to just assess the situation and go for a dive. The Key 43 is, he sees us, he's trying to dodge, and does that successfully. I also turn for the P-39. Missed my shot. Pretty standard stuff, as you can see. Now I could turn and go for the P-39, but that seems a little bit dangerous because I kind of lost track where the Key 43 is, and there he is. Have a friendly close by. We're gonna pitch over. I kind of lost track of the Key 43 there. Actually, the P-39 went into a cloud. Who knows where he's gone? Hopefully he's not coming for us. Now the Key 43 is right there. He's trying to dodge, but I don't think it's gonna end up well for him, and it doesn't. So yeah, another one. And this is another one of those games. We're gonna go for the F2A now, which presents itself going for our friendly BF-109 there. Like a clear-cut shot. Will I make it? Already know the answer to that one. Of course, I will not make the shot. Pretty embarrassing stuff, actually. And then all our friendlies dive on the F2A. He is completely toast. I look around. Their team is absolutely destroyed. That's another match. We win, and I basically kill a single plane and then land and J out, because who has time to chase a guy on their base, right? Next game I thought about including one that I didn't necessarily get many kills. In fact, I think I only got 2 assists in this game, but the defensive flying here I think was pretty interesting. So we see that PIP 51 up in the distance. Looks like a pretty juicy target. Will he see us? Well, there's also a BF-109 up there, so we have to be on our toes. I'm diving down, picking up a little bit of speed in case I need to do some evasive action. He seems oblivious. No, he sees us. He's coming for the head-on. I'm gonna dodge. He's gonna dodge as well. Pretty strange stuff. We both had the same idea. I'm trying to pitch down for him. Kind of an awkward scissors here. I completely lost track of him. He pitches up, and now I'm worried about the BF-109 I just saw, because I'm getting pretty exposed here. We pull the landing flaps. The flaps are not particularly good on this plane at high speeds, but at low speeds they're really fantastic. So you can recover from some stalls like this one. P-51 gets hit, goes to the deck. Now we have that Focke-Wulf 190 that's coming for me. The other 3 opponents to the right there. Maybe the Spitfire is coming. I don't know. I am not willing to take my chances. I'm gonna fly towards my team and basically reassess the situation and see what happens. The Focke-Wulf is definitely coming for me. I communicate with my team, try to get their attention. Everybody has gone down. Perfect stuff. So now I have 2 opponents. Actually 3 if you count that 0 up high, and I'm the only one that's up here. So pretty dire situation. I'm gonna go horizontal and then dive under the guns of the Focke-Wulf. He's gonna go for a shot. Seems like he won't be able to make it. I wanna I want to go for him, but I'm actually very wary of the Spitfire and the Zero that are coming up. We pull the good old flaps once again. And yeah, his situation is not good. However, if he dives here, I really can't go for him. One of the biggest weaknesses of the Yak is the rip speed of the wings. They rip at 680, 700 kilometers, so you really can't go for fast fighters like the Focke-Wulf or most American fighters really on a dive. So I aborted. He completely ditches the fight. It's not looking good for us right now. However, both the Zero and the Spitfire had a bit of a Lemmings moment there. They saw the blue plane, or red plane in their case, and just went for it. And they completely forgot that I exist. Works out for me. Good stuff. I'm assessing. I want to dive down on them. Should I though? Probably not a good idea. As you can see, we have a pretty hefty numbers advantage. There's 4. Well, actually, there's only 2 now. What happened there? I'm not sure. I have a 2 and 2 there. 2 LA5s against Spitfire and a Zero. You're probably not going to win this one, if I'm honest with you. So I think rather than going for the Focke-Wulf, which is 5 kilometers away, if I go down, cut throttle, and try to help my friendlies down there, maybe I can save them. We'll see. In any case, one of the Focke-Wulfs is dead. The other one has to deal with 2 friendlies, so we're good. So let's... Well, actually, they're both alive, so who knows. Now, the Spitfire is dead. One of the LA5s is also dead. Now it's a 0 against an LA5. This LA5 is never going to win this fight. It's looking pretty dire for him, if I'm honest. So I'll go back to 100%. I'm looking at my IAS constantly, so I don't go over 620, give or take. The Zero sees us. It's pitching for me. Is he going for the head-on? Who knows? Yeah, he's coming. We hit him, but no fire. I consider rolling for him, but you know, it's a 0, so if I go for it, he's probably gonna turn on me and win. But let's see. Well, he's making my shot pretty difficult. Now, I could turn with him, but that seems like a very bad idea, so what I'll do instead is just extend, and he really wants to kill me, so he turns around, but he forgets that the LA5 exists, and that is his demise. There we go. So I send a friendly radio for the LA5. Well done. He thanks me for the defensive flying, and yeah, we basically worked as a team there, even with no communication. Pretty good stuff. Didn't get any kills here, but I didn't get any shots on my plane, so I count that as a win for sure. Another game, and you'll see this very frequently playing this plane, especially if you're playing US. You see these SB2Cs or P-38s, these air spawn planes, and they are really keen on head-ons, usually. So they just go through and try head-ons with the whole team, and whoever dies, dies, and then they die and they go back to the lobby. However, this SB2C hasn't seen me. I think he's interested in one of the bombers. Indeed, he's going for the Henko, so I guess we can take advantage of that. You see this happening a lot at this battle rating. People really like going for bombers. I mean, it is usually a free kill, granted, but if you completely tunnel vision the bomber, as this guy is doing right now, you're pretty liable to getting killed in a very dumb way, like this. So he doesn't have a wing anymore. That's a pretty important part of the plane, as it turns out. So we see that A36 coming up. A36 is basically a P-51 with added weight, more armament, it is true, but also not as agile. There's actually 2 A-36s, so I'm considering my chances here. One of them is coming for the head-on for sure, and then there's the other one. There's 2 kilometer separation. We're gonna go for the usual 1.5 kilometer shot. We get it. He is on fire. He's probably dead. Don't worry about it. Let's go for the other one. He doesn't seem to be coming for the head-on though. Is that an easy shot for us? Not really. He's changing direction last minute. And will we get a dogfight here? Let's see. Yep. I don't know actually. This is a pretty standard USA protocol. You'll see very obnoxious stuff. They just go for head-on. They don't get it. They use the engine to just gain 5 kilometers separation and then come back for a head-on again. But this guy has a different idea. He wants to dogfight us. However, it took a really long time to decide, and with that, we are already in a pretty good advantage here. You see that every time I go below 300, especially on top of the loop, I'll pull the flaps, and then yeah, we're basically with a clear shot here. That's a hit. That's me not being able to aim as per usual. However, there's a P-51 right there, and that is worrisome. If I go for the shot in this A36 here, maybe I got the kill, but most likely the P-51 will kill me, so we'll do some guns evasion here. The energy retention on the Yak-1B is fantastic, so we can fight these guys, especially at low speed. But, I mean, it's shoe guys, right? So it can get pretty risky. Somehow this guy misses me. Pretty fantastic stuff. Where's the P-51? I don't know. Oh, the A36 is turning with me. And this is one of those fights that if it were a one-on-one, it would be pretty handy. He had a snapshot there, but missed. But this is not going to be a one-on-one, is it? It's not. He is pitching down. I don't like this, to be honest. Doing high-speed dogfights, it's really not a good idea with this plane, so I'm gonna let him go because the P-51 is coming for me. And now I want to equalize energy with this P-51. He has a much higher energy state than me. I'm going to do some guns defense here. And that's going to be the standard US protocol. He's going to extend, climb a little bit, turn around, and boom and zoom me. I'm going to need to dodge quite a few passes before we equalize the energy state. And final game of the day. That fight, if you're curious, it took another 5 minutes before I could equalize the energy state, and then someone else showed up and I got third-partied. That kind of happens. It is unfortunate. This is the final game of the day, and then as you can see, and you will see this a lot, there is a P-38 above me. A very obnoxious plane to face most of the time. Not very maneuverable, however, given the air spawn and the engine power that this guy has. It can be pretty dangerous. Now there is not only one, but there's also a second P-38, as you can see there, so I'm pretty wary of it. Now this guy's extending, but the other one gave up, and this is usually the ideal scenario. Like if you're going for someone and the other guy loses interest and goes for the furball, that's alright by me. This P-38 also forgot that I exist, and he's going for the Hurricane. I go in chat and warn the Hurricane about the P-38. Is he paying attention? I guess we'll see. Yep. He's dodging. Now, what I would ideally like is for him to go up, and he's doing exactly that. The P-38 is pitching up because he wants to, I don't know, maybe stall out the Hurricane or something, but he completely forgot that I exist, and now he's extremely slow. And if I have competent aim here, which, as you know, is not my strong suit, especially with a plane that has not that much ammo as this one, it can be a pretty bad combination. You can use just the machine gun, as I'm using right now, to save on cannon ammo, and now I crit him and it's not looking good. And you know what's gonna happen, he's gonna pitch down, dive. I try a final shot there, but he's going pretty fast, and I won't bleed all my altitude for him. And sure enough, he's gonna go down to the furball. There I have plenty of friendlies down there, and he's already dead, and that's an assist for me. Now, final assessment here, we have a P-38 that is essentially dead and crit. The other one is facing a bunch of friendlies down there. Actually a Ki-61, but I mean, I'm confident the Ki-61 is gonna down him. And we have a P-47 with an IL-2. and he's alone. So clearly the P-47 is the more useful target here, so we'll go for him. We fast forward a little bit, there's a thick cloud in front of us, but the P-47 is completely focused on the IL-2, which is ideal for us. I completely cut throttle, so I avoid ripping my wings. And the P-47 is not the best plane on the deck, especially against a Yak-1, so it's looking good for us, if I'm honest. Now, one thing remains, if he's paying attention or not, but to be honest with you, the likelihood that it avoids being killed here is extremely low. We shoot him, we crit him, he goes horizontal and then goes for the ground, and that is the game. So this is the Yak-1B, pretty fantastic plane. I fully recommend it, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.